Yes, friends. So, welcome. Today is 11th May, and it is like 22nd anniversary of nuclear experiments India done in Pokhran on 11th May 1998. On that day, there was Buddha Purnima, and by executing absolutely successful Pokhran nuclear experiments, India gave a huge message to the whole of the world that India is awakening and India is growing and it is going to be a superpower in the days to come. And after, I think in 71 or 72, we did the first one, and this was the second one. And I think the movie Parmanu aptly depicts the things happened at that time. But the courage of that government, NDA government, led by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, must be remembered at this juncture. And by remembering that courage of the whole team of scientists as well as the leadership, let us start our today's talk with S21. And question number in line and pattern is 14, which is almost the similar question which we did, but one or two new adjustments which I am supposed to do today, because there are two similar questions in our leaflet. So today I request all of you, I think all of you have been given the hard copy leaflet of second group advanced accounts. So please find out that leaflet today. From tomorrow we may require that leaflet, because now today we are almost going to conclude most of the basics of the consolidation of financial statement, because this is the 14th sum. And if you remember, in erstwhile questions, each sum was comprising various cases. So if we consider each case as a separate sum, then perhaps this may be 22nd or 23rd sum. And so that is enough to create a premise of AS21. And you will definitely feel while calculating the question, the practice, makes men as well as women perfect. And so let us start today's question. It is question 14. And please, friends, start recording balance sheet. This is the balance sheet in front of you, which is similar to question 10 balance sheet, but I have made few changes and I have added 2-3 new details in it, this particular question. So it's like this, all the figures are in lakhs of rupees, let me remind you. And this is the balance sheet, and I urge you to record this balance sheet properly so that it can be useful to us when we calculate the whole question. So let us start reading the same. Equity share capital, there are two companies, H and S. Equity share capital, share of rupees 100 each, 40 lakhs and 20 lakhs. As I told, figures are in lakhs of rupees. 10% preference share capital, preference share of rupees 100 each, 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs. General reserve 10 lakhs and 6 lakhs. P&L account 9 lakhs and 8 lakhs. Here analyze the closing balance of P&L of S is 6. A closing balance of GR of S Limited is 6 and P&L of S Limited is 8 lakhs. 15% debentures, each of rupees 100, 10 lakhs. Creditors 13 lakhs and 50,000 only in case of S Limited. Dividend payable now analyze, please friends. This is dividend payable for the year 2019-2020, which is short of proposed dividend. This is current year's dividend, which has already been declared. Equity dividend 6 lakhs and 3 lakhs and preference dividend 2 lakh and 1 lakh. Outstanding debenture interest in case of S Limited, because only S Limited has issued debenture, that is 1.5 lakh. Now in question 10, I have not involved this outstanding debenture interest. In question 10, almost a similar question. From this perspective at least, there were equity, preference and debentures, and in all the three, holding company has made investment, but in that case, subsidiary has shown debenture, but the outstanding interest was not shown. And so in that question, we are supposed to assume that the interest has already been declared and paid before the completion of the current financial year. And so it has been shown in the final balance sheet. It means on 31st March 2020, they have already declared and paid. Declaration is not required in that case because the debenture interest is a commitment. So on 31st March 2020, S Limited has paid debenture interest, but here it is specifically shown as an outstanding debenture interest, and so that here the debenture interest has been provided but has not been paid. So this is the liability side. Once again, equity share capital, share of rupees 100 each, 40 lakhs, 20 lakhs. 10% preference share capital, share of rupees 100 each, 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs. General reserve 10 lakhs and 6 lakhs. P&L account 9 lakhs and 8 lakhs. 15% debentures each of rupees 100 dash and 10 lakhs. Creditors 13 lakhs, and then in case of S Limited only 0.5 lakhs, that is 50,000. Dividend payable, my friends, analyze. 6 lakhs and 3 lakhs. Preference dividend payable, that is proposed preference dividend, proposed equity dividend 6 lakhs and 3 lakhs. Proposed preference dividend 2 lakhs and 1 lakh, and outstanding debenture interest is dash and 1.5 lakh. This dividend payable or proposed dividend is nothing but a current year's dividend. Please do not forget, it's a current year's dividend. Then at asset side, plant and machinery 40 lakhs and 38 lakhs. Investment in 16,000 equity shares of S, that is 80% exactly the stake of H in S, and 20% are minority shareholders. So investment in 16,000 shares of S, 24 lakhs. Investment in 8,000 preference shares of S, 12 lakhs. Investment in 3,000 debentures of S. Understand, here in erstwhile question number 10, there was 6,000 debenture invested by H in S. Here now there are 3,000 debentures. So I want to give you an idea to you people that in debenture there is nothing like holding subsidiary. Debenture investment by holding in subsidiary is just like intercompany owing of debtor creditor. It will be eliminated from both the side. But here when purchasing debenture, if any extra money has been paid, it will be treated as a loss. Or while purchasing debentures, the debenture has been acquired at an amount which is less than the face value, it is a profit. If while purchasing debentures have been acquired at an amount which is higher than the face value of debenture issued by the subsidiary, if holding company has paid exaggerated amount as compared to the face value of debenture issued by the subsidiary company, then it will be treated as a loss. Whereas if holding company pays amount which is lesser, which is economical, lesser than that of the face value of debentures issued by subsidiary, then it is a gain. And if it is a loss, again please, if holding company, here if you analyze, there are 3,000 debentures holding company has acquired, and the face value of each debenture of subsidiary, if you analyze the liability side, the debentures face value of subsidiary is 100. Holding has acquired 3,000. So holding must have paid 3 lakhs. But instead of that, holding paid 5 lakhs. That means the face value of 3,000 debenture is 3 lakhs, but holding paid exaggerated. As holding paid exaggerated, holding paid, excess fund of or excess money of 2 lakhs. This 2 lakhs is a loss, and that loss is to be settled while consolidating P&L. But here, if the same debenture would have been bought by holding company, say for rupees 2 lakhs only, 3,000 debenture for rupees 2 lakhs, then it would have been considered as a profit, and that would have been added in the holding's P&L while consolidating P&L of holding and subsidiary. So if holding pays higher amount to purchase debenture of subsidiary, that excess amount is loss that is to be deducted while consolidating P&L of holding subsidiary. And if holding pays lesser amount than that of face value of debentures of subsidiary while purchasing debentures of subsidiary, then that lesser amount is a profit, and that profit is to be added while consolidating P&L of holding with subsidiary. Then stock is 7 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Here at, if we take the bird's eye view of holding made by H Limited in S Limited's equity, then it is 80% and 20% are held by minority shareholders. Then at the same time, H Limited also holds the same stake of 80% in preference shares of S, and 20% are held by minority shareholders. Whereas H Limited has invested and has purchased 3,000 debentures of S. Here we don't need to determine any stake from the point of view of holding subsidiary, but investment in debentures of subsidiary is just like intercompany owing, and that is to be eliminated from both the sides. Apart from profit or loss, that is to be settled in consolidation of P&L. Stock 7 lakhs and 10 lakhs, debtors 7 lakhs and 9 lakhs, and cash at bank 5 lakhs and 3 lakhs. The total of both the balance sheets, if we analyze individual balance sheet total, 100 lakhs in case of H and 60 lakhs in case of S. So please friends, again, record this balance sheet. I request all of you to kindly record this balance sheet so that, you know, we can analyze later on whenever we go ahead and consolidate the final balance sheet or finally make the consolidated balance sheet. At that time we can use it. So I again urge you to record this balance sheet. You know, it will be helpful at the time when we prepare the final balance sheet. Yeah. Yeah, friends. So I hope that all of you have done it. Let us start reading the details. Now analyze the details. See, these are the details. Balances of GR and PNL of S Limited as on 1st April 19 were 4 lakhs and 6 lakhs respectively. 4 and 6. Balances of GR and PNL of S Limited as on 1st April 19 were 4 and 6 lakhs respectively. And see, the closing balance are 6 and 8. 6 and 8. Here opening is 4 and 6. H Limited and S Limited declared dividend for the year 1920 on 31st March 20. That means before the final closure of the year, dividend has been declared. H and S declared dividend for the year 1920. This dividend is reflected over here. See, this dividend is reflected over here. Dividend payable. And analyze the rate of dividend is changed as far as equity. In preference, they cannot change the rate of dividend, but in equity now it is 15%. So kindly note the same. Whereas in preference it is 10%. So H Limited has declared 2 lakhs and S Limited has declared 1 lakh. Whereas in equity, H Limited declared 15% of 40. So it's going to be 6 lakhs. And S Limited declared 15% of 20. So it's going to be 3 lakhs. This is dividend payable and this will form part of the chart, as you all know now. During March 2020, S Limited sold some goods to H by adding 33.33% profit on cost. Goods worth rupees 4 lakhs still remain unsold with H as on 31st March 2020. It's again an upstream transaction of unrealized profit in stock. S Limited sold a plant and machinery to H Limited on 1/1/20 for rupees 3 lakhs by charging 50% profit on cost. H Limited charges depre at the rate 20% per annum. Here there should be what we call S Limited. Yeah. S Limited charges depreciation at the rate 20% per annum. Then next, S Limited. Now please analyze carefully. S Limited declared and paid equity dividend for the year 1819 at the rate 10% on equity on 30th November 19. Please analyze the year 1819, previous year, and so even if no idea regarding preference dividend is given, it is deemed to have been paid. It means we will have to read this particular sentence like this. S Limited declared and paid equity as well as preference dividend for the year 1819 on 30th November 19. H Limited received the same and credited the same to its P&L account. That means H Limited committed a mistake. Please friends, analyze this. Then on 30th November 19, S Limited declared bonus shares. Now this is the new thing. These two are new adjustment. I think I tell you this is the question they asked twice in CA final examination. Because this chapter was there in CA final. Even in new syllabus it was introduced. But later on at last moment institute deleted. But I think May 18, November 18 and May 19 exams. In these 3 exams in CA final also this particular chapter was there, but later on the same has been deleted because of Ind AS. The same Ind AS is there with some few changes, and that's why they have ultimately eliminated. But this particular similar question, this is my homemade question I have made on my own, but similar question has been asked twice in CA final exam. So it's a full-fledged question now. S Limited declared and paid equity dividend for the year 18-19, that we have seen, and so preference is also deemed to have been declared. Now this is the adjustment. See, on 30th November 19, AS Limited declared bonus share at the rate 1 share for every 10 share held by capitalizing its GR balance available on 1st April 19, that is opening GR, but no effect has yet been given in the books of S. AS Limited has declared bonus, but the books are not affected as of now. It has declared bonus from out of pre-acquisition balance of general reserve, but it has not given any effect in the books of accounts. And so let us analyze later on what to do about this. Then the next is no entries have been made in the books of H Limited for debenture interest payable and dividend payable by Y for the year 1920. Now dividend payable, as we all know, it will be included in chart, and so entries will be given. But this debenture interest are also not being recorded by H Limited. So both will be recorded in an apt manner. So let us analyze now what to do about this particular situation. Prepare consolidated balance sheet of H Limited along with its subsidiary S as on 31st March 2020 if H acquired shares in S as on first day of the year, that is 1st April 2019. So friends, these are the details. There are 7 adjustments now, or rather at least we can say there are 6 adjustments. If we do not consider the balance, opening balance of GR and PNL as an adjustment, then there are 6 adjustments which we are supposed to solve. And please analyze and record these other details in a proper manner so that it can be helpful while solving the question. Friends, have you recorded? Do let me know, yeah? થઈ ગયું છે રેકોર્ડ બધાને કે હજી રાખવું છે થોડીક વાર? Good. Yeah, so let's move forward, friends, with the solution. Now here you can give working note number if you would wish to all these things. Say for example, this may be our working note number 1. Working note 1 is calculation of unrealized profit included in closing stock of H Limited and its effect while making CBS. Okay. Yeah. So let's start. What is this? Gatyanidis analyze. Let the cost of goods to S be, because here S sold goods to H, so 100 plus profit added by S 33.33% on cost, so 33.33. Selling price of S to H 133.33. So if selling price is 133.33, profit included in it is 33.33. Then if selling price is 4 lakhs, what would be the profit? So the profit would be 1 lakh exactly, unrealized profit. Move forward. Okay. As the whole world knows, it's an upstream transaction. Goods sold by subsidiary to holding and remaining unsold with holding. Unrealized profit 1 lakh. Effects while preparing CBS. Liability side effect. Deduct from PNL of H Limited while consolidating PNL of H with S. 1 lakh multiplied by 80%, so 80,000. That is liability, because as you all know, the 1 lakh profit is actually recognized in the books of subsidiary. But while preparing chart, it has gone to the extent of 80% in the books of PNL of holding and to the extent of 20% in the books of minority. And so wherever it has gone, we are just holding it and we are eliminating the same from respective books of account. So 80,000 will be eliminated from the PNL of H while consolidating PNL of H with S. and 20,000 shall be eliminated from the minorities book, and at asset side 1 lakh shall be eliminated from the stock of H while preparing CBS. As this is a universal adjustment, as we all know, the only one thing is to be considered, that whether the transaction is upstream or downstream, that we are supposed to analyze. Calculation of unrealized profit included in plant and machinery of H. It's an upstream transaction. Now this can be called, if we analyze our Kano Bay, Karyakari Nond Kramank Bay, and you know, that's why it will be working note 2. Yeah. This is going to be our working note number 2. Yeah, working note 2, calculation of unrealized profit included in plant and machinery of H Limited, upstream transaction. Again, step 1, figure of plant and machinery bought from S Limited in the books of H as on 31st March 20. S Limited sold plant and machinery to H Limited on 1st January 20 for rupees 3 lakhs by charging profit at the rate 50% on cost. H Limited charges depreciation at the rate 20% per annum on per annum, yes. Hence, H Limited charge depreciation at the rate 20% on plant and machinery bought from S for period starting from 1/1/20 and ending on 31st March 20. Here analyze the data, please. Here it is given over here. Yeah, 4th one. Again, I changed, but that is the same thing. Please do read once more that S Limited sold a plant and machinery to H on 1/1/20 for 3 lakhs by charging 50% profit on cost. H Limited, the one who is having plant and machinery, charges depreciation at the rate 20% per annum because plant and machinery had been sold by S to H. It's an absolute upstream transaction. Now let's analyze. See, S Limited sold plant and machinery to H as on 1st January 20 for rupees 3 lakhs by charging profit at the rate 50% on cost. H Limited charges depreciation at the rate 20% per annum on plant and machinery. Hence, H Limited charge depreciation at the rate 20% on plant and machinery bought from S for the period starting from 1st January 20 and ending on 31st March 20 because financial year ends on 31st March 20. Figure of plant and machinery bought from S in the books of H on 31st March 20 will be reduced. It is 3 lakhs minus 15,000. That is depreciation for 3 months. And so it is going to be 2 lakh 85. And now friends, analyze whatever profit included in this 285 is to be eliminated, not the profit included in 3 lakhs. You know, that was the actual price at which S Limited sold plant and machinery to H, but plant and machinery is a depreciable asset. So as on the last day of the balance sheet, the day on which the CBS is to be prepared, whatever profit remain included in the plant and machinery of holding company, that will have to be eliminated. That means plant and machinery's value as on 31st March 2020 will be taken as a base, and in that value, whatever profit included shall be derecognized. Very, very important. And so unrealized profit included in plant and machinery of H Limited purchased from S on 31st March 20 is 2,85,000 multiplied by 50 divided by 150. And so that unrealized profit is 95. Yeah, unrealized profit is 95. Now analyze. Step 3. Effects while making CBS. Liability side effects. Deduct 76,000, that is 95,000 multiplied by 80%. Holding company share from P&L account of H while consolidating P&L of H with S. Then next, deduct 19,000, that is share of minorities. 95,000 multiplied by 20% from minorities interest. And asset side effect, deduct 95,000 from plant and machinery of H Limited because the profit is included there in the plant and machinery. Here I have repeated many times. Again, I am repeating that here the main objective is to eliminate the profit included in plant and machinery of holding company. And that's why we have to eliminate some profit at liability side. Actual idea is to show plant and machinery of holding at its original cost of the group. You know, in individual balance sheet, it may be at its original value, but when you prepare group balance sheet, if any profit has been made by subsidiary while selling those plant and machinery to holding, then that profit should be eliminated, but not from the point of view of the value at which subsidiary sold it to holding, but on the basis of the value at which plant and machinery included in the individual balance sheet of holding as on 31st March 2020. So the value of plant and machinery included in the individual balance sheet of holding company will be taken at base, and in that value whatever profit is included, that is to be eliminated. That is the prime objective, and that's why the secondary objective, to give the another effect, as it's a double entry system, to give the another effect, we also eliminate the profit from the liability side. And that's why first of all we have to analyze that the whole profit of 95,000 had originally been recognized by subsidiary in its P&L, and from subsidiary's P&L it had gone to holding to the extent of 80% and minorities to the extent of 20%. And so from there we eliminate, and that is the liability side effect. But asset side effect is we deduct the whole accumulated 95,000 from the plant and machinery of holding company, because here the buyer is holding company. That's it. Now the next adjustment, this will be our Kano turn. Working note 3. Treatment of pre-acquisition dividend received by H from S. Now analyze this. Can anyone from you calculate what is the total dividend declared and paid by, is there in front of you, and that's why no need to or no logic in asking. Let us analyze it one by one. See, S Limited, and you know I have changed. If you analyze the other details once again, yeah, over here, fifth adjustment. AS Limited declared and paid equity dividend for their 18-19 at the rate 10% now. In the 10 sum, it was 8%, but now it is 10%. So it is changed thoroughly. And as we all know that equity dividend has been declared and paid, then preference dividend must have been paid. And that's why we'll have to take into account both the things and analyze the amount of share capital. Equity share capital of S is 20 and preference share capital of S is 10. Now let us move forward and analyze. AS Limited declared and paid 10% equity dividend and 10% preference. Both are now 10% at uniform rate for the year 18-19 on 30th November 19 from out of opening balance of P&L. So dividend declared and paid by S comes to now 3 lakhs, because 2 lakhs equity dividend, 20 lakhs multiplied by 10%, and 1 lakh is preference dividend because 10 lakhs multiplied by 10%. So total dividend declared is 3 lakhs. It means AS Limited declared and paid both dividend out of profit earned by it during 18-19 when H has not acquired any shares in it. As dividend, but what happened? The dividend was declared and paid on 30th November. At that time, H Limited was holding 80% stake in S. And that's why H Limited received 2 lakh 40. Why 2 lakh 40? Because 2 lakh equity dividend multiplied by 80%. That is the stake of H in S equity. That is 160. Oh, હમણાં હજી વખાણ કર્યા ઝૂમ ના કે ભાઈ ટાઈમ લિમિટ નીકળી ગઈ પણ પાછી આવી ગઈ ભાઈ. એમ કઈ લાલો લાભ વગર લોટે નહીં. ઠીક છે, હાલો પાછી રીલોન્ચ કરશું મીટિંગ. दुनिया में हम आए हैं तो जीना ही पड़ेगा. હું તો ખુશ હતો, મેં કીધું ટાઈમ લિમિટ સવારે વહી ગઈ હતી તો અત્યારે વહી ગઈ હશે. સારું ચાલો, ઝૂમ બરાબર ઝૂમ વિદ્યાર્થી, ઝૂમ બરાબર ઝૂમ. તો આવું છે જો, એટલે હું આ કહી રહ્યો હતો. યસ, as dividend was declared and paid on 30th November 19 when H Limited was holding 80% stake in S. H Limited received 2,40,000. That is 2 lakh multiplied by 80%, 160, plus preference dividend 1 lakh na 80%, 1 lakh multiplied by 80, so 80. And so it's 160 plus 80, 240 in form of dividend. H Limited received dividend from that profit of S earned by S at the time when H did not hold any shares in S. So this is a pre-acquisition dividend for H and should be treated as a capital receipt and should be credited to investment in S account by H. Very specifically given. फिर वही साम वही गम वही तन्हाई है, एज वस्तु છે પાછી જો. Entry which should have been passed by H Limited for recording pre-acquisition dividend. For H Limited, it's a pre-acquisition dividend and it should be recorded in the following manner. Bank account debit 240, to equity dividend account 160, to preference dividend account 80. Equity dividend account debit 160, preference dividend account debit 80, to investment in equity shares of S 160, to investment in preference shares of S 80. This should have been the entry, but actually what is the entry? Wrong entry actually passed. Bank account debit 240 to equity dividend 160, preference dividend 80. Equity dividend debit 160, preference dividend debit 80 to P&L 240. So this is a blunder. And so the rectification, P&L is wrongly credited. So it should be debited and the account which should have been credited should be credited. So it's an error of principle. P&L account debit 240 to investment in equity shares of S Limited 160 to investment in preference shares of S 80. So now analyze the effect. This is, this is the presentation which you don't need to give in your answer in examination. You can start directly from this particular point in examination. Treatment while making CBS. Revise opening balance of P&L. Oh, here the blunder is made. Revise opening balance, analyze. The opening balance of P&L given in the question is 6 lakhs. Less dividend for the year. So many things will have to be changed, friend, now. Dividend for the year 18-19 declared and paid. That is actually, I have recorded only the dividend received. Barobar se dividend received by holding from subsidiary. I have recorded that particular point, but actually we should record the total dividend paid. Okay. So dividend for the year 18-19 declared and paid is 2 lakhs plus 1 lakh. And so finally the revised opening balance will be 3 lakhs over here. Please analyze. The total opening balance is 6 lakhs. Dividend for the year 18-19 declared and paid on 30th November 2019 is 3 lakhs. Revised opening balance of P&L of S Limited to be considered while preparing chart is rupees 3 lakhs. Please analyze, my friends, once again, because the total dividend declared and paid on 30th November shall have to be deleted. The total dividend, not the dividend received by H, but total dividend shall have to be deleted. So 6 lakhs minus that. You are very well conversant with this point. Okay. So this is the thing. Now analyze treatment while making CBS. Pre-acquisition equity dividend wrongly credited to P&L account by H. Pre-acquisition equity dividend wrongly credited to P&L account by H Limited. Deduct from P&L account of H while consolidating P&L of H with S. And at asset side, deduct from cost of investment of H in equity of S while calculating goodwill or capital reserve. I think the whole world knows this thing. બરોબર છે ભાઈ, બધાને ખ્યાલ આવે છે. પછી જોઈએ આપણે, જો આ 160 જે છે એ શું છે એનું ઇક્વિટી ડિવિડન્ડ. Then treatment while making CBS, pre-acquisition preference dividend wrongly credited to P&L account 80,000. So liability side, deduct from P&L account of H while consolidating P&L of H and S, and deduct from cost of investment of H in preference shares of S while calculating goodwill oblique capital reserve. ચલો, તો અહીંયા સુધી ક્લિયર છો ભાઈ બધા? એક આ ખાસ જોઈ લેજો. ઓપનિંગ બેલેન્સ એસ નું 6 lakhs હતું, એમાંથી પ્રીસીડિંગ યર નું ઇક્વિટી ડિવિડન્ડ 2 lakhs અને પ્રેફરન્સ ડિવિડન્ડ 1 lakh, એટલે ટોટલ 3 lakhs આપણે ડિક્લેર કર્યું. એટલે રેવ ઓપનિંગ આવી ગયું 3 lakhs. પછી આપણે એની જે એચ ને મળ્યું એની ટ્રીટમેન્ટ આપી કે એચ એ રોંગલી જમા કર્યું, એના પીએનએલ માં રોંગલી ક્રેડિટ કર્યું, તો આપણે લાયબિલિટી સાઈડ એના 160 પીએનએલ માંથી અને અસેટ સાઈડ રિવાઇઝ કોસ્ટ ઓફ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ કરવી પડશે, એટલે કોસ્ટ ઓફ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ માંથી. એ જ રીતે પ્રેફરન્સ ડિવિડન્ડ પણ એને મળ્યું અને એને પ્રીસીડિંગ યર નું પ્રેફરન્સ ડિવિડન્ડ રોંગલી પીએનએલ માં લીધું, એટલે 80,000 પ્રેફરન્સ માંથી અને 80,000 કોસ્ટ ઓફ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ માંથી એને રિવાઇઝ કરવી પડશે. હવે આ નવું એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ એક આવે છે, ચલો આને એનાલાઇઝ કરીએ. અહીંયા સુધી ક્લિયર છો બધા? ચલો કહો મને. Anyone has any doubt till now, then do let me know. હજી આપણી પાસે આમાં 4 મિનિટ છે. મને ફટોફટ આવી જાવ કયો, એટલે આપણે ફટોફટ પછી એક આ એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ કદાચ પતી જશે આપણે, બરોબર? ગુડ, ચલો ફાઇન. હવે જો આ જો ફટોફટ આ શું કહે છે આપણને? રેકોગ્નિશન ઓફ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રિસીવેબલ બાય એચ. આ આપણી બની જશે વર્કિંગ નોટ 4, બરોબર? નંબર યાદ રાખજો કાનોના. Yeah, working note 4. Let us analyze it one by one. H holds 3,000 debentures in S out of total 10,000 debentures issued by S. જે આપણને બેલેન્સ શીટમાંથી ખબર છે. It means H holds 30% of total debenture issued by S. Total outstanding debenture interest of S is rupees 1.5 lakh. Out of this 30% is payable to H. ટોટલ 1.5 લાખ નું આઉટસ્ટેન્ડિંગ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ છે જો બેલેન્સ શીટમાં, એમાંથી 30% એટલે 45,000 એને H ને દેવાનું છે. H લિમિટ S એ તો રેકોર્ડ કર્યું છે આઉટસ્ટેન્ડિંગ તરીકે, પણ H એ કાઈ કર્યું નથી. S Limited has already recorded and shown it as an outstanding, but H Limited hasn't done anything. So H Limited has not yet recorded this interest receivable from S amounting to rupees 45,000, because 1.5 lakh total multiplied by 30% debentures held by H in S. So total interest receivable by H comes to 45,000. So while preparing consolidated balance sheet, H Limited shall pass following entry in its individual book. એની પોતાની બુકમાં પહેલા એન્ટ્રી પાસ કરશે. Interest receivable account debit 45,000 to P&L account 45,000. Effect while preparing CBS. This is interest receivable. So interest receivable account debit to P&L. Effect while preparing CBS. First effect, add 45,000 in P&L account of S while consolidating P&L of H with S, because P&L is credited. So it will have to be credited in P&L account of H. Second effect, create interest receivables account in the books of H. There is one interest receivable asset will be created even in individual balance sheet of H. So actually you can execute this transaction while making CBS, but actually the entry is being passed in individual books. Interest receivable 45 to P&L. So P&L of H will be loaded by 45, and there is one new account will emerge in the books of H, that is known as interest receivable account. Now third effect while preparing CBS. At liability side, while showing interest payable of S Limited of rupees 1.5 lakh in CBS, deduct interest receivable by H of rupees 45,000, and so net figure of rupees 1,05,000 as other current liability under the head current liability. Liability side 1.5 lakh બતાવેલા છે, એમાંથી 45,000 minus receivable by H. Receivable by H 45 deduct કરો એટલે 1,05,000 જે net interest payable to outsider રહેશે. 70% debenture holder ઈ જ ખાલી CBS માં બતાશે. અને ઓલી બાજુ શું છે, 45,000 receivable પડ્યા છે asset side H માં, H ના book માં. ઈ 45 માંથી receivable from S અથવા તો payable by S 45 નીકળી જાય, એટલે ત્યાં nil બતાવવાના રહેશે. At asset side, while showing receivable of H, interest receivable at asset side while showing interest receivable over here, that there should be interest receivable. Okay, at asset side while showing interest receivable of H Limited of rupees 45,000 in CBS, deduct interest payable by S Limited to the extent of 45 and show the net figure of 0. Yeah, so we were discussing the third effect and the meeting was over and the connection was cut. So at asset side, once again, while showing interest receivable of H Limited of rupees 45,000 in CBS, deduct interest payable by S to H to the extent of 45,000, the same amount, and show the net figure of 0 as the other current assets under the heading current assets. So actually this is happening, friends. Please, this is a new adjustment. We are dealing it for the first time in Rajkot. So please analyze recognition of interest receivable by H. Once again, H holds 3,000 debentures in S. Out of total 10,000 debentures issued by S, it means H holds 30% of total debenture issued by S. Total outstanding debentures of S Limited is 1.5 lakh. Out of this, 30% is payable to H. H has not recorded, yeah, anything? Total outstanding debenture of S Limited is 1.5 lakh. Out of this, 30% is payable to H Limited. H Limited has not yet recorded this interest receivable from S. જો એને રેકોર્ડ નથી કર્યા એટલે પહેલી વારી કરે છે. S Limited amounting to rupees 45,000. So 1.5 lakh. Why 45? Because total outstanding interest is 1.5 lakh. Out of that, 30% is receivable by H. H has not recorded. Now it is recording. So it will record 45,000 as an income. Okay. So while preparing CBS, H Limited shall pass following entry in its own book. પોતાની બુકમાં પેલા પસાર કરશે ને interest receivable account debit 45 to P&L account 45. એટલે શું થશે કે પેલા H ને પોતાનું P&L 45 થી વધારવું પડશે અને સામે એક ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રિસીવેબલ અકાઉન્ટ ઊભું કરશે 45. એટલે એની ઇન્ડિવિડ્યુઅલ બેલેન્સ શીટમાં કોઈ બેલેન્સ ખોરવાશે નહીં અને આપણે આ કામ હવે ઇન્ડિવિડ્યુઅલ બેલેન્સ શીટમાં નહીં કરીએ પણ લગે હાથ કોન્સોલિડેશન વખતે જ કરી નાખવું પડશે એટલે અલગથી કાઈ કરવાની જરૂર નથી. So first effect, add 45,000 in P&L of S while consolidating P&L account of H along with S. And second effect, create interest receivable account in the books of H. હવે third effect, at liability side while showing interest payable of S, interest payable liability side S નું છે જે consolidated balance sheet માં જ્યારે જાય 1.5 લાખ ત્યારે એમાંથી 45,000 જે receivable by H છે એ ડિડક્ટ થઈ જાય કારણ કે ઇન્ટરકમ્પની ઓઈંગ બની જાય સામસામા અને એટલે 1,05,000 નેટ બાર બતાવવામાં આવે. એ જ રીતે હવે H લિમિટેડ ની બુકમાં એક ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રિસીવેબલ અકાઉન્ટ ઊભું થયું છે જે CBS માં લઈ જવું પડશે પણ એની અમાઉન્ટ છે 45 પણ એમાંથી પેયેબલ બાય S કેટલું છે 45 તો ઈ બાય 45 સામસામા ઉડી જાય અને એટલા માટે નીલ થઈ જશે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રિસીવેબલ અકાઉન્ટ. At asset side while showing interest receivable of H of 45 in CBS, deduct interest payable by S to the extent of 45 and show the net figure of 0 as other current assets under the heading current assets. તો ચલો ભાઈ પહેલા કયો આટલું આ એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ બરોબર સમજાય છે બધાને કે કાઈ ડાઉટ છે કયો તો આપણે પહેલા ઈ ડિસ્કસ કરી લઈએ. આપણી 40 મિનિટની લિમિટ ભાઈ આવી ગઈ પાછી લોકો ખુશ થવા નથી દેતા આપણને. દિવ્યરાજ છે આપણે પછી નિરાતે ડિસ્કસ કરશું ભાઈ અત્યારે તું આ મુજબ જોઈ લે પછી મને પ્લીઝ ફોન કરો તમે મીટિંગ પતે પછી એટલે આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીએ. ચલો એવરીવન આ ક્લિયર થયું ભાઈ આખું લોજિકલી તમને શું થાય છે ઈ ગુડ શું વાત છે CBSE સર ભરે છે લેક્ચર વેરી ગુડ. તો હવે આગળ વધીએ નેક્સ્ટ પોઈન્ટ છે see effect of bonus shares declared by subsidiary company. Now bonus is a new point. So what happened actually on 30th November 19 S Limited declared bonus issue at the rate 1 shares for every 10 shares held by capitalizing its general reserve balance available on 1st April. That means the bonus has been declared from opening GR. Bonus has been declared from pre-acquisition GR, but no effect has yet been given in the books of S Limited. As S Limited has not yet given any effect of bonus issue in its individual balance sheet while preparing CBS, bonus issue shall be completely ignored. હવે જો S લિમિટેડે પોતે એકલી એની બુકમાં કાઈ કર્યું નથી તો આપણે એની બુકમાં હળી કરવા વાળા કોણ અને એટલા માટે એને એની ઇન્ડિવિડ્યુઅલ બુકમાં કાઈ કર્યું નથી તો આપણે પણ બોનસની કોઈ ઇફેક્ટ આપીશું નહીં અને એટલા માટે જ્યારે પણ આવું એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ હોય આ એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ ક્લિયર છે તમારી સામે અહીંયા on 30th November 19 S Limited declared bonus shares at the rate 1 shares for every 10 shares held by capitalizing GR. Balance available on 1st April. That means bonus has been declared from opening GR. And I tell you one thing, my friends, bonus shall always be declared from the accumulated opening profit or opening GR. And so bonus, they can never declare bonus from the current year's profit because there is no possibility that in current years they generate that much profit so that they can issue bonus. Or in general, the bonus in over here shall always be declared from out of pre-acquisition profits. And that's why here it has been declared from out of pre-acquisition GR, but S Limited has not given any effect. If this is the adjustment, we will absolutely ignore the bonus issue as if nothing happened, as if this adjustment has not been given, and we will continue as it is. Here we have got opening balance of general reserve of 4 lakhs, and we will continue with that particular general reserve balance while preparing chart. Do remember, friends. Okay. Now analysis of GR as on 31st March 20. अच्छा बोनस इश्यू नु क्यों तमे भाई क्लियर थाई छे जो સબસિડિયરી કંપનીએ ઇન્ડિવિડ્યુઅલ બેલેન્સ શીટમાં કે બુકમાં કોઈ ઇફેક્ટ નહીં આપી હોય બોનસની તો આપણે પણ આપીશું નહીં. જો સબસિડિયરી આપી હશે તો આપણે એને કન્સિડર કરશું. હું આમ કહું છું આનો જનરલ રૂલ છે S21 માં આ રીતે આપણે ફોલો કરીએ. એના પછી હું તમને વધારે આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરી શકીએ કે ઇફેક્ટ આપે કે ન આપે ખરેખર કોઈ ફેર જ નથી પડતો એટલે આપણે કઈ કરતા નથી. એ હું તમને સમજાવી શકીશ પછી. પેલા આ કયો જોઈએ, અહીંયા ક્લિયર થયું ભાઈ, આ જે પોઈન્ટ આ બન્યો છે કે if subsidiary has not given any effect in its individual balance sheet, we are not going to give any effect while making consolidated balance sheet. આપણે અત્યારે એ રીતે યાદ રાખી લેવાનું છે કે જો સબસિડિયરીએ કોઈ ઇફેક્ટ નહીં આપી હોય તો આપણે કોઈ ઇફેક્ટ આપીશું નહીં, કારણ કે એની બુકમાં જઈને આપણે કઈ ચેન્જ કરી શકીએ નહીં. હવે જીઆર નું એનાલિસિસ છે. ક્લોઝિંગ જીઆર 6 lakhs હતી, ઓપનિંગ જો આ વખતે 4 lakhs છે ને એ લીધી છે 4 lakhs, એટલે એડિશન ડ્યુરિંગ ધ યર 2 lakhs. So opening 4 lakhs will go to pre-acquisition and addition during the 2 lakhs shall go to post-acquisition balance. Next, opening P&L, closing P&L 8 lakhs है, okay, closing P&L 8 lakhs है. Oh, क्या हुआ तेरा वादा, वो कसम वो इरादा. Yes, screen sharing was stopped for a minute. But you know, over here, if you analyze the rev opening balance, the revised opening balance of P&L is 3 lakhs. And that's why addition during the year, my friends, is going to be 5 lakhs. And so the revised opening balance of P&L of 3 lakhs, because this is a first day acquisition, shall go to pre-acquisition balance. And Thomas Alva during the year will go to post-acquisition balance. Is it clear, everyone? Closing balance is 8 lakhs. Revised opening, actually the opening was 6 lakhs. Out of that preceding year's profit, 2 lakhs equity dividend and 1 lakh out of the opening balance of P&L of 6 lakhs. Preceding year dividend, 2 lakhs equity dividend and 1 lakh preference dividend had been duly deducted and declared and paid, so it has been duly deducted. So the revised opening 3 lakhs. Closing 8 lakhs. So addition during the year 5 lakhs. Revised opening 3 lakh will go to pre, and addition during the year 5 lakhs shall go to post. Everyone. Oh, પાછો આ આવ્યું છે. आइए आपका इंतजार था. Now analyze, see, here also I'll have to change it because that was the prima facie mistake which I did. I just made a silly mistake. So yeah, it's like this only. And now what's happening? If you analyze the chart, 20 lakhs equity share capital will go to pre, and in post it is nil. GR, analyze, 4 lakhs, my friends. And the GR in post acquisition will go to 2. P&L, rev opening 3 lakhs. So 5 lakhs will go to post. And equity dividend payable. Can anyone explain this equity dividend payable by unmuting himself or herself? શું છે equity dividend payable? અને ઈ કેમ આપણે પોસ્ટ એક્વિઝિશન ચાર્ટ માં લીધું છે? કોઈ કહી શકશે મને? ચલો કોઈ તમારામાંથી. ઓકે, ચેટ રૂમ માં જાઓ છો? Yeah, just me, no ભાઈ? Yeah, chart total will remain same. હવે જોઈ લ્યો શું કહે છે ચેટ રૂમ માં બધા બાળકો. કરન્ટ યર ડિવિડન્ડ છે, અને કરન્ટ યર ડિવિડન્ડ શું કામ આપણે પૂરેપૂરું પોસ્ટ માં લીધું ભાઈ? ઈ કોઈ કહી શકે why we have taken current year dividend in post acquisition balance? એનું કોઈ લોજિક છે આપણી પાસે? આફ્ટર એક્વિઝિશન નું છે એમ નહીં. એટલે આમ બરોબર છે કૃતિક, તારી વાત સાચી છે ભૈયા, પણ આમાં એમ ગણવાનું છે. હા, ફર્સ્ટ ડે એક્વિઝિશન. વેરી ગુડ ધ્રુવી કોટિયા, જેતપુર વાળા બેન, પ્રણામ તમને. ફર્સ્ટ ડે એક્વિઝિશન છે એટલા માટે. વેરી વેરી ગુડ. ચલો તો ચલો હવે જો ફરીથી એકવાર ઇક્વિટી શેર કેપિટલ 20 lakhs ઓપનિંગ અને પોસ્ટ એક્વિઝિશન માં નીલ. જનરલ રિઝર્વ 4 lakhs and 2 lakhs. પહેલા પ્લીઝ એકવાર આ જોઈ લ્યો બધા. P&L account 3 lakhs and because that is changed now. P&L account 3 lakhs and 5 lakhs, everyone. Equity dividend payable dash and 3 lakhs because first day acquisition is that there, and that's why equity dividend, current year equity dividend payable, proposed equity dividend is fully taken in post acquisition side. તો આપ બતાના મુજબ તો પહેલા જો આટલું ક્લિયર થાય છે તમને તો કયો મને ફટાફટ. Do let me know if you are getting properly. આ બરોબર છે તો મને કયો ફટાફટ ભાઈ એવરીવન. બરોબર, આ આખો ચાર્ટ થઈ ગયો તમારો અને તમે લોકો તમને અનમ્યુટ કરીને પણ બોલી શકો છો એ રીતે સેટિંગ, એટલે વચ્ચે વચ્ચે તમારે કલબલ કરતું રહેવું, કાંઈમાં વાંધો નથી આપણને. હવે એક પોઈન્ટ લઈએ જો ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, તો અહીંયા આપણે છે ને બોનસ ઇફેક્ટ લીધી જ નથી. We have not taken into account the bonus effect. પણ જો બોનસ ઇફેક્ટ આપણે આપીએ તો તમે પહેલેથી ચેક કરો કે એવરી 10 શેરે 1 શેરનું બોનસ આપ્યું છે, જેની ઇફેક્ટ એસ લિમિટેડે પોતાની બુકમાં નથી આપી. પણ આપે તો શું થાય? તો આપે તો સૌથી પહેલા એની પ્રી એક્વિઝિશન જીઆર જે છે ને ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ, એમાંથી એને બોનસ ડિક્લેર કર્યું છે અને ઇફેક્ટ હજી આપી નથી એવું એને ચોખ્ખું કીધું છે. તો એની પ્રી એક્વિઝિશન જીઆર જે છે 4 lakhs, એમાંથી 2 lakhs થઈ જાય. પણ હવે એને ઇફેક્ટ નથી આપી એનો મતલબ શું થાય કે એની ટોટલ ક્લોઝિંગ બેલેન્સ ઓફ જીઆર પણ 2 lakhs થી ઘટે ને, કારણ કે બોનસ ઉપર વયું જાય. જો એ આખા વર્ષના અંતે જીઆર અકાઉન્ટ ડેબિટ 2 lakhs, તું કરે શું ઈ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ. જો પહેલા તમે આ જોઈ લ્યો ભાઈ, આ ચાર્ટના ટોટલ નોંધી લ્યો તો બધા પ્લીઝ રેકોર્ડ ધ ટોટલ ઓફ ધીસ ચાર્ટ એવરીવન. ટોટલ પ્રી એક્વિઝિશન 27 છે અને પોસ્ટ એક્વિઝિશન 10 છે. ટોટલ 37 lakhs થાય છે. ટોટલ 37 lakhs થાય છે. જો ઇક્વિટી 20 nil, general reserve 4 and 2, P&L now revised opening 3 and that's why closing was 8 and that's why post acquisition 5, and equity dividend payable dash and 3 lakhs. So please record the charts total 27 lakhs and 10 lakhs everyone. 27 and 10 ચાર્ટ બરોબર નોંધી લ્યો. હવે જો ઈ જીઆર ની બોનસ ઇફેક્ટ આપે તો મને તમે કહેતા જાજો. જો હું અહીંયા તમને બનાવી દઉં છું તો ઈ શું થાય? પહેલા તો ઇક્વિટી જે છે એ 2 lakhs થી વધે, કારણ કે 10 શેર 1 શેર, તો there are 20,000 shares, so 2,000 shares bonus થાય ભાઈ. 2,000 એને મલ્ટીપ્લાઈડ બાય 100 એટલે 2 lakhs રૂપીસ ઇક્વિટી શેર કેપિટલ વધે એવરીવન. તો આ કેટલી થઈ જાય? જીઆર થઈ જાય 2 lakhs. અને બીજું કે બોનસ ની ઇફેક્ટ એને આપી નહોતી એટલે જીઆર ની ક્લોઝિંગ બેલેન્સ પણ જે 6 lakhs હતી ઈ થઈ જાય 4 lakhs. એટલે હવે રિવાઇઝ ઓપનિંગ જીઆર ની 2 lakhs અને એની રિવાઇઝ ક્લોઝિંગ થઈ જાય, કારણ કે 6 માંથી 2 નીકળી જાય એટલે ઈ 4 lakhs. તો 2 પ્રીમાં 2 પોસ્ટમાં, એટલે બીજો કોઈ ફેર નો રહે. તો કયો ચલો જોવો તમે શું થાય છે ચાર્ટનો ટોટલ. 22 plus 2 24 plus 3 27, 27 and 10 37, no change. If we have given bonus effect, if subsidiary has not given, but if we give, we will have to increase the equity share capital by 2 lakhs. But as they have not given bonus effect, and without giving bonus effect, if the closing balance of GR is 6, it means what happened? That actually there is an addition of 2 lakhs only during the year in GR. The bonus has been declared from the pre-acquisition balance of 4 lakhs. So 4 lakhs out of pre-acquisition 4 lakhs, 2 lakhs has gone upward to equity, and as a result, not only opening but closing will be revised. Revised opening is 2 lakhs and revised closing is 4 lakhs. So revised opening 2 lakhs and revised closing 4 lakhs. So addition during the year in GR 2 lakhs. So 2 plus 2, GR will be settled like that, and equity share capital instead of 20 will have to be taken at 22. So if we give bonus effect also, no effect on chart, no effect on any figure. And that's why we are ignoring bonus effect. But some student may have a question that why we ignore bonus effect. We want to give bonus effect. So if you want to give bonus effect, there will not be any change in any figure of goodwill, capital reserve, consolidation of GR, P&L or minorities. Nothing. And that's why it's useless to give bonus effect. Now do let me know, friends. Come to chat room and do let me know. Are you getting this particular point? Bonus. But if they have given bonus effect, we need to give effect. That I'll analyze. See, one another question will be there, in which we have got 2 questions in which bonus effects have been given. ચલો ધ્રુવી કોઠિયા શું કહે છે? રિયા, તૃપ્તિ, દીપ, સુહાગ, બાપુ, બે શું લાગે છે? Is it clear everyone? કાઈ ક્વેશ્ચન હોય તો પ્લીઝ કહેજો મને. બરોબર. અહીંયા બોનસની એને ઇફેક્ટ આપી નથી એટલે ક્લોઝિંગ બેલેન્સ 6 lakhs છે. બોનસ ઇફેક્ટ આપે તો ટોટલ જીઆર માંથી 2 lakhs ડાઉન થાય. ઈ નો ડાઉટ જાય 4 lakhs ઓપનિંગ બેલેન્સ માંથી, પણ ક્લોઝિંગ પણ 2 lakhs થી ઘટી જાય. અને ઓપનિંગ એટલે એની ઇફેક્ટ શું આવે જીઆર માં? જીઆર ડેબિટ ટુ ઇક્વિટી શેર કેપિટલ 2 lakhs 2 lakhs. એટલે જીઆર નું ટોટલ બેલેન્સ 2 lakhs થી ડાઉન થાય. પણ ઈ ગયું છે શેમાંથી? આપણને કીધું છે ને 4 lakhs ની ઓપનિંગ બેલેન્સ માંથી. અને એટલા માટે revised opening 2 lakhs, whereas revised closing is 4 lakhs. So post acquisition GR is 2 lakhs, but equity share capital will be instead of 2022. But if you analyze the pre-post segregation of the chart, it remains same 27 and 10, and that's ignoring bonus effect. Is that clear? And that's why we are ignoring bonus effect. So analyze, see what happens over here. So I am just now revising, friends, as it is, as per the working note that we have done, and I am ignoring bonus effect. And you please analyze the chart 27 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Yeah. So should we move forward, friends? આપણે આગળ વધીશું. Yeah, this is the chart. Now analyze the next point. 37 lakhs. 37 lakhs multiplied by 80%, 2960. And Madhumati, minority 740. So there won't be any change in it, but here we will have to change. Now it is like what? 27 lakhs now, 80%. Chalo, આ ગણવો જ પડશે સમ. 2160 it is happening like over here. 2160. And in post acquisition it's like $10 lakhs na 80%. So it's gonna be 8 lakhs. My friends, please. It's 8 lakhs. Now analyze 2160 plus 8, 2960. As far as GR is concerned, 2 lakhs multiplied by 80%. As far as GR is concerned, it's gonna be 2 lakhs multiplied by 80%. 0. Okay. તો ઈ બરોબર છે, એમાં કોઈ ચેન્જ નથી. PNL ચેક કરો ભાઈ. PNL જે છે, if you analyze 8 lakhs હોવું જોઈએ ને. Yeah, 8 lakhs ના 80% એટલે 8864. એટલે it's gonna be 6,40,000. 640. Yeah. Now analyze. See, this is the wall chart. Al by al. Hello, જોઈ લેજો ભાઈ બધા. ચેક કરતા જાવજો. 640 plus 160, 8 lakhs plus 2160, 2960 plus 740, 37 lakhs. ચલો, આ ચાર્ટ થઈ ગયો આખો તમારો તૈયાર. રેકોર્ડ કરવો હોય તો કરતા જાવ બધા. This is the chart. Should we go in a FIGO? Preference chart. Analysis of preference share capital and reserves of S Limited as on 31st March 2020. Preference share capital 10 lakhs prima, post acquisition nil. The whole dividend payable of 1 lakh will go to post acquisition. Why? Because the date of acquisition is 1st April 19. And so it is going to post acquisition. So total of the chart is 11 lakhs. Chalo barko, 11 lakhs. And 11 lakhs, 80% is held by X, so 880 will go to pre-acquisition, whereas 220 will go to minority interest. Then out of 880, pre-acquisition, 10 lakhs multiplied by 80%, 8 lakhs, and post acquisition 1 lakh multiplied by 80%, 80,000, and this 80,000 will be credited to P&L account of H while consolidating P&L account of H with S. Calculation of goodwill or capital reserve for equity. ચલો હવે આ જોતા જાઓ બધા જ. Okay, now analyze. This may be the another working note. Very important, because I don't consider chart as a working note, or you can show it even as a working note if you want. But this may be our working note 5. Analyze pre-acquisition balance of H in S. Now it is changed. If we analyze over here, it is 2160. 2160. And now the revised cost of investment is there, say 24 minus 160 pre-acquisition dividend. And so it's going to be 2240. And that's why the goodwill will be 80,000. Everyone, the goodwill will be 80,000. It's like this. Pre-acquisition balance 2160 less, and then compare it with cost of investment 2240. क्या चाली तो कहीं खबर नहीं. 24 lakhs minus 160 pre-acquisition dividend, and that's why 2240 is the revised cost of investment, and so goodwill for equity stake is 80,000. My friends, goodwill for preference stake or capital reserve or goodwill, whatever it may be. Pre-acquisition balance of H in S 8 lakhs. Cost of investment revised 12 lakhs minus 80,000, so 1120. So it's 320. So 320 plus 80. 4 lakhs will be the finale goodwill. Everyone, 4 lakhs will be the final amount of goodwill. Chalo, next. Calculation of profit or loss due to investment in debenture of S. આ એક નવો પોઈન્ટ છે. આમ એકવાર થયેલો. Face value of investment 3,000 debentures multiplied by 100 per debenture 3 lakhs. Cost of investment 5 lakhs. Here there is a 5 lakhs cost of investment. So loss to be deduced from P&L account of H while consolidating P&L account 2 lakhs. Out of total debenture of S Limited, debentures of 3 lakhs have been cancelled against cost of investment of H in S, and remaining debentures of S of rupees 7 lakhs shall be shown as a long-term borrowing in consolidated balance sheet. Everyone, I hope that all of you are getting. Yes, Dhruvi. બોલો ધ્રુવી ધુડકોટિયા. કહો. ઓકે, નો પ્રોબ્લેમ બેન, કોઈ ચિંતા નથી. તમે લોકો અનમ્યુટ કરીને પણ વચ્ચે મને રોકી શકશો એવું લાગે ત્યાં. Yeah, now holding company's balance 10 lakhs plus 160. તો GR માં તો કોઈ ચેન્જ નથી, 1160 થશે. અહીંયા એક આપણે બદલવું પડશે. P&L is now 640. જો આપણે એનાલાઇઝ પણ કરતા જઈએ સાથે સાથે. P&L post acquisition is 640. So what happens? Holding company's balance 9 lakhs plus post acquisition P&L equity. In equity, it has got post acquisition P&L 640. From preference, it has got 80,000 plus interest receivable from Y. Understand? આપણે એની entry આપી ચૂક્યા. Interest receivable from Y 45,000. We have already analyzed working note number 3, I think. 45. Unrealized profit, plant and machinery, that is to be deduced only to the extent of holding company share 76,000. Unrealized profit, stock 80,000. Pre-acquisition dividend 160. Equity dividend, pre-acquisition equity dividend 160. Pre-acquisition preference dividend 80. And we have just concluded investment in debentures of S Limited, loss 2 lakhs. So now let us analyze the revised figures. See, 9 lakhs plus 640 plus 80 plus 45 minus 76 minus 80 minus 160 minus again 80 minus 2 lakhs. So it's gonna be 10,69,000 આવે છે. જરાક જોતા જાજો બધા પોતે પણ. 1069 બરોબર. ફરીથી એકવાર 9 lakhs plus 640 plus 80 plus 45 minus 76, that is unrealized profit, yeah. Then minus 80 unrealized profit stock, yeah. 160 pre-acquisition equity, 80 pre-acquisition preference, minus 2 lakhs loss, 10 lakh 69, and make a total 1069 plus 1160. So revised consolidated reserve would be 22 lakh 29,000. Consolidated reserves would be 22 lakh 29,000, friends, and this is finally there in front of you. Please analyze and check. And I must tell you that you will never have this much adjustment accumulatedly in one question. એટલે કોઈ ચિંતા નથી. આ લેવલે આપણે ઇન્ટર લેવલે આટલા બધા એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ્સ નહીં હોય એક લેવલે, પણ જો હોય તો આ ઇફેક્ટ આવે જો. Please analyze and check and please give your response. આ ક્લિયર છે બધાને? જનરલ રિઝર્વ and consolidated P&L એટલે consolidated reserves and P&L, and final consolidated reserves are 2229, whereas goodwill is 4 lakhs. Yeah, chalo, fine. Next. So આગળ વધીએ. See, minorities interest in equity એમાં કોઈ change નથી થયો. 740 plus minority interest in preference 220. Total minority interest 960. 740 plus 220. 960 minus unrealized profit in plant and machinery 19,000. Unrealized profit in stock only minorities at 20,000. So it's gonna be 921. It's gonna be 921. So next, the final balance sheet. Yeah. Now here I have become dot yeah. 11.6 plus 10.69 over here. Yeah, ato same much. Here it's 10.69, and so it's gonna be 11.6 plus 10.69. It's gonna be 22 lakh 29,000. 2229. It is changed now. Share capital 40 plus 20. 40 lakhs equity share capital of H Limited plus 20 lakhs preference share capital of H Limited. And so that you please show it in notes. Share capital, absolute figure 40 plus 20, 60. Consolidated reserve 1160 plus 1069. 1160 plus 1069. So it's going to be 2229. Minorities interest remain intact, 921. Long-term borrowing, please analyze over here. Total 10 lakhs minus 3 lakhs originally held by H. So it is shown at 7 lakhs only. 10 minus 3, 7. 10 minus 3, 7. Please analyze. Trade payables now 13 plus 50,000. So 13.5 lakh. 13.5 lakh, yeah. Then short-term provisions, that is proposed dividend or dividend payable of H Limited. 6 lakhs for equity, 2 lakhs for preference. Short-term provision, proposed dividend or dividend payable of H Limited. 6 plus 2, 8. And other current liabilities, outstanding interest 1.5 lakhs minus 45,000. So it's gonna be 1 lakh 5,000. Let's analyze the total. 60 lakhs plus 22 lakh 29,000 plus 9 lakh 21,000 plus 7 lakhs plus 13.5 lakh plus 8 lakhs plus 1 lakh 5,000. So it's gonna be 1 crore 21 lakh 5,000. Okay, once again 60 lakhs plus 2229 plus 921 plus 7, yeah, plus 13.5. One crore 21 lakh 5,000. And the last point now over here. Here, you know, fixed assets 40 plus 38 minus 95,000. That is the unrealized profit. And so 77 lakh 5,000. And here the revised goodwill, if you analyze, goodwill is now 4 lakhs. Why goodwill is 4 lakhs? Because 0.8 equity goodwill plus 3.2 preference share goodwill, and so total goodwill is 4 lakhs. Otherwise inventory 7 lakhs plus 10 lakhs minus 1 lakh unrealized profit, and so 16 lakhs. Trade receivable 7 lakhs plus 9 lakhs, 16 lakhs. cash and cash equivalents 5 lakhs plus 3 lakhs 8 lakhs, and other current assets, interest receivable 45,000. Oh, minus, yeah, barobar છે. 45,000 minus 45,000, that means 0.45 lakhs minus 0.45 lakhs, so it's going to be nil. So analyze now. 77 lakh 5,000 plus 4 lakhs plus 16 lakhs plus 16 lakhs plus 8 lakhs. So it's gonna be 1 crore 21 lakh 5,000. That's all, friends. જો ફરીથી એકવાર આપણી પાસેથી થોડોક ટાઈમ છે. શેર કેપિટલ 60 lakhs, 40 plus 20, 40 lakhs equity share capital of H, 20 lakhs preference share capital of H. Reserves and surplus total now is like 11 lakh 60,000 consolidated reserves and 1069 consolidated P&L. So total going to be 22 lakh 29,000. Minorities interest 9 lakh 21,000. Non-current liability, long-term borrowing 15% debenture of S 7. Why 7? Because it's gonna be, it's like this. Total 10 lakhs minus 3 lakhs. So 7 lakhs is the net figure. 10 lakhs minus 3 lakhs. These are long-term borrowing LTB, and it is 15% debentures. Total 10 lakhs minus 3 lakhs held by H Limited. So 7 lakhs net. Trade payable 13 plus 0.5 lakhs, that is 13.5 lakhs. Short-term provision means what? Proposed dividend or dividend payable of holding company, that is equity 6 lakhs plus preference 2 lakhs. If you have got the question balance sheet in front of you, you can analyze. Other current liability, outstanding interest, that is interest payable by S Limited, total 1.5 lakh minus receivable by H 45,000. So net figure is 1 lakh 5,000 in outer column. Now at asset side, fixed assets, tangible assets 40 lakhs plus 38 lakhs minus 95,000. So 77 lakh 5,000. Total figure of tangible assets, that is plant and machinery. You please show in notes properly. Okay, all of you know how to prepare notes to financial statement. Intangible assets like 80,000 goodwill for equity stake and 3,20,000 goodwill for preference stake. So it's gonna be 4 lakhs. Inventories 7 lakhs plus 10 lakhs minus 1 lakh unrealized profit. So it's gonna be 16 lakhs. Trade receivable 7 lakhs plus 9 lakhs. Final total 16 lakhs. Cash and cash equivalents 5 lakhs plus 3 lakhs, 8 lakhs. And finally, very important, other current assets, interest receivable 45,000 minus receivable payable by S. That means receivable by H from S and then payable by S to H 45. So it's just like intercompany owing, 45,000 is deducted. And so in outer column, the net interest receivable is 0, is nil. And so finally, the total of the balance sheet is 1 crore 21 lakh 5,000. ચલો ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, યા આ છે વસ્તુ. તો અને નોટ્સ આજે તમારી ઉપર છોડું છું હવે. ઇટ ઇઝ ઓલરેડી a very long question. So please do let me know. આમાં કાંઈ ડાઉટ હોય તો કયો. કાંઈ પ્રશ્ન હોય તો પૂછો ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, પ્લીઝ. Is there any doubt? Done. Question is over. ધ્રુવી ધૂળકોટિયાએ પૂછ્યું છે ડન કે જણાવે છે ડન એમ? I don't know. Yeah, thanks. ચલો બધા કહી દો એક વખત. બરોબર છે? Good. So let us conclude today's lecture from over here. Yeah. It was a long question, but do analyze this question properly. And it was, I had to calculate almost most of the important steps in front of you. તો થોડો કદાચ વધારે પણ આઈડિયા આવ્યો હશે તમને. ઇનિશિયલી જે આપણે 240 ડિડક્ટ કર્યા હતા એની બદલે 3 lakhs ડિડક્ટ, જે ઓલવેઝ આપણે આમ જ આગળથી એમ જ કરેલું છે, એટલે એ કોઈ સમજાવવાનો પ્રશ્ન નથી એમાં. યા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, તો આપણે હવે આ મીટિંગને અંત કરીએ છીએ. આવજો બધા આજ માટે. 10 મિનિટનો બ્રેક લઈ લ્યો અને પછી અંકુર સર શરૂ કરશે 10 મિનિટ પછી.